play ball. Though 36 years old and with 15 seasons of full competition behind him, gives no signs of nearing the end of his amazing career.
Art Monk is now number one, the most prolific pass receiver in the National Football League's history. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
This is Harry Hog Football, the original Redskins Fans podcast. On today's show, we talk about the debacle of a game between the Washington Redskins, Washington football team, and the Green Bay Packers. And we look forward to this week's game against the Broncos. This and much, much more live with Aaron and John. Yo, what's up, John?
What's up?
Excellent.
Welcome, everybody. Harry Hog Football, episode number 535. That is
Art Mayhew.
500 and Martin Mayhew episode. Yeah, so we'll get to talk about this awesome game of the last week that me and Josh attended at Lambeau Field.
Where is Josh, by the way?
Dude.
I think he's in Manteo today. But, you know, honestly, I don't even think I remember to tell him we were doing the show this morning because he would probably just not come on anyway. But he did go to the game.
He did.
And
He had a fantastic hat.
Yeah, he did. There was this like woman when we were so we parked in this neighborhood near the stadium for free because, you know, there's neighborhoods that go up to the stadium, like neighborhoods that literally have a back gate from houses that go into the stadium. So anyway, we parked in this neighborhood.
Green Bay is like a town. It's like a 40,000. There's more seats in the stadium than there are people that live in the town.
Yeah.
That's the unique thing about Green Bay. That's why it's such a unique stadium. It's not a big city. It's I don't know. It's just that's why so many people like Green Bay, because it's different from so many other teams. People also say that you can buy stock in the team, but you can't buy stock. Like you can buy stock, but you're just giving them money for free. The stock never goes up. It never goes down. And you can't buy like more than one share. You can't buy like 100 shares to be like, I own 1% of the team. You can't.
It's like a marketing
It's
thing.
called stock in name only. It's really just give us your money for free and we'll give you a fancy piece of paper.
A piece of paper that says you own stock in the Green Bay Packers. Anyway,
that's the thing.
And the neighborhoods.
Anyway,
the neighborhood's not even like anything fancy. It's like the neighborhoods that you and I grew up in that like back up to
it's from like the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah.
It's just like single family houses. There are no mansions or anything around there. It's like if you had a high school in the middle of your neighborhood and people went there for Friday night lights and stuff like that. Just think of it as being a bigger stadium.
Yeah. I wonder how much those houses cost that are right at the stadium though, just because that you could just turn them into a party house.
I wonder, but can you? I wonder if they have things. I don't know. You were there. How was the tailgating experience?
Well, if you take FedEx Field on one hand, tailgating experience, and then you take Green Bay's on the other hand, Green Bay's is way off the screen, off the charts, and ours sucks. First of all, you can like where we parked. I don't know. It was probably 5 or 6 blocks away. We parked on the last block that you could park on that residential street before it says no parking Packers game day on like little street signs. So we parked like right where we could, and then we walked up, and the whole time walking up, like every single house, people had like their garages open and they had like their Packers man caves in their like single car garages, you know, with like TVs, and they were like spilling out into their yards, and like some people were like having people pay to park in their yards and stuff, but
right, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that far.
You guys just found a spot on the street. And it's not like
we parked on the street.
Back in back in the late 90s, I lived in Atlanta for a short while. And when you went to an Atlanta Braves game, because their stadium was right downtown, now they're out in the suburbs now, but the stadium, Turner Field's right downtown.
Yeah.
And you could park in the neighborhood and go to that game. But when someone came to you and asked you for $5, you gave that person $5 or your car is gone when you come out of the game.
Yeah.
Did this look like, was this that kind of neighborhood, or was it just like a...
Dude, this neighborhood would have been like parking in Pembroke Meadows in Virginia Beach. Back when I lived there. I don't know how it is today. But anyway, right. Yeah, like safe, like middle class neighborhood, you know, like that's all I can say. Anyway, so we parked there and like we're walking to the stadium and all these people are just, this is the beginning of the tailgating experience. It's not even tailgating, it's people's houses partying. So they're like all partying and like, and when we walk by, like all the people are super Midwestern nice, you know? So right. Like,
hey, fellas.
There's this one woman that was like trying to like cut on Josh's hat. She was like, nice hair. And that was about it. That was the heckling we got. Cause his hat looked like Swiss Miss braids and Redskins colors. Nice hair. Right, yeah. Like this old woman.
And Josh is a big dude. I know you guys who watch the podcast that haven't ever seen him, but Josh is a large guy.
Yeah. And these other people, like the other fans, when that woman was saying that, were looking all embarrassed. Like, this woman's not hanging out with us.
She was probably already drunk.
I know she was. Because we got there kind of late because we had to drive 2.5 hours that morning and there was some traffic. Right. So we got there about, I want to say we got there about 10:15, 10:20, 10:30 for a 12 o'clock game. And then we basically walked up to the stadium, took some pictures. Like on the last block towards the stadium, there was some guy, just like some older Packers fan, like in his 60s, and he's like, all right, and if you guys go over this way, there's some good outside the stadium, like food you can get, so you don't have to pay the money inside. And if you go over here and check this bar out, they've got some stuff happening. This guy was just like making sure that we were like taken care of watching the game. And he was a Packers fan, you know. It wasn't
right,
like
yeah.
And he just like kept talking and then he walked away and came back to us and was like, oh, I forgot to tell you, and then told us something else. And we were like, okay, thanks, man.
Oh, dude, you told me that at 1 hour they like shot off a firework.
Yeah, they shoot off
remaining until the game starts.
They didn't say it. It was like everyone knew. Like, so they shot off these fireworks from the edge of the stadium, like one thing, like, and it was like everyone was like, oh, we got to start packing up. Like, this is your 1 hour till kickoff. 1 hour till kickoff. But we walked past like the main tailgating area, which was towards like, so there was all the off-property tailgating in that neighborhood. Right. That we walked in. I guess we were on like I want to say the west, maybe the west side of the stadium. I'm just going by how I remember the sun. So the west side of the stadium. And then we walked down in front of and got like a picture of Lambeau Field, like the sign with the sun coming through the flag and everything. And then we walked around like between the practice fields and the stadium, because their practice fields are right there. It's not right like
next to the stadium.
Oh, we got to drive to another city to actually practice. So we go in there and we're between the practice fields and the stadium, and that's where they have like the rows of people set up tailgating with their like easy up tents, and they all have like flags, you know, going up. Yeah. There's like Packers and Wisconsin and stuff like that. So I didn't go down into that tailgating place too much because there were so many people, and I was like, I mean, I know we were going into a crowded stadium, but I don't know. I was like, that's a little COVID tight in there for me. But yeah. At least in a stadium, everyone's like pointing that way.
That way.
They're not like up in people's. But anyway, it looked like a pretty cool. Dang it! There's a stink bug on my desk. Look. Look at this.
Did you just take your dog out for a walk or something? No, that's right. You had to run out real quick, so maybe. See, those things love to just like latch onto people's shoulders and just go right inside when you go through a door.
Dude, they get in all in the Midwest. Josh even commented on it because he said here there were stink bugs. They get on the white doors outside when they get cold for whatever reason.
Right.
I guess the sun or something. They get on the doors, like around the edge of the door, and when someone opens the door, they're like, "Whoop," and they like crawl in, and and then they hide. Then they just hide. And so we saw stink bugs at my house. We saw stink bugs at Chris's house in Wisconsin. Like everywhere at Doug's, like everywhere we went, there was a stink bug. Like it's this time of year.
Stink bugs everywhere.
Probably, I'm not even going to say why. Anyway, so back to the tailgating experience. So then we made our way into the stadium, you know, like talked to some people, and I think I called you from out there. Then we made our way into the stadium, and I was like, "Oh, we got to get a brat because you know we're in Wisconsin. We're in Wisconsin." The brat at the stadium was actually, I was not impressed. I mean, maybe there's a better place to get a brat, but I just like went up to the little.
Apparently, there's an outside the stadium brat seller.
Well, we missed him.
They're selling you.
Yeah, we never got, like, Josh for some reason was worried about going too far down away from the stadium, like we wouldn't make it back on time or something. But anyway,
okay,
which is weird for Josh to be worried about that, because I was like, dude, we can go down there and see if we can find that food. But anyway, so we got a brat inside the stadium, and it was like, I would have rather had a 7-Eleven Big Bite or something. It was not good. It was like,
oh wow,
it was like pre-cooked Johnsonville that they warmed up on the microwave or something for like
brats. Not the highest. The highest. I'm kind of surprised by that. I figured they would have more high-end brats at the stadium.
Yeah, I figured they'd have like peppers, onions, like all this stuff to put on them, and it was like a brat on a squished up bun in like one of those like, you know, like foil hot dog pouches.
Foil hot dogs, and they feel kind of like damp.
Yeah,
like the buns feel damp.
And I was like, oh, well, that was a bust. But anyway, and then you know, the fans were cool around us, you know, watching the game with us, and
that's good.
It was a lot better. I can't even tell you how jealous I was of the experience at Lambeau compared to our own stadium. It's like, I don't know. I was jealous of them.
Yeah. It's not a great place, FedEx Field.
Yeah.
We do have the Hale BBQ people to talk to, but, you know.
Yeah. It was interesting because at the end of the game and all through the game, like the fans around me and like multiple fans that I talked to, like just like the people that we knew up in Wisconsin, like the next day that we hung out with and everyone, they're all like, Heineke's pretty good, is what they were saying. They were like, he could run, and they were like, you guys need to give him time to develop. And
yeah,
and
people don't understand that Heineke is like, I don't know how old he is, like 26 or so, 27. I don't know how old he is, but I know that. I mean, it's literally, if you think about it, he's only started like 7 games.
Yeah.
Or so. I mean, it's basically his rookie season. He just has a little bit more experience than your average rookie. So, and you know, they got it. He wears number 4 because he loved Brett Favre growing up. They understand.
Yeah. And yeah, they weren't mad about that Lambeau leap thing, even though that was the most embarrassing thing as a fan of the opposing team. Yeah. To see that and then the touchdown get taken away. And then the next play I thought was also a touchdown from where I was sitting. And that wasn't either. And then I was like, what? I didn't even realize that was 4th down. I was like, that was 4th down? And then I was just like... I was like, so from then on, I wasn't the most cordial person at the stadium. I didn't do anything bad, really. Like, I think
I didn't like trash my hotel room or anything like that.
I did trash the Packers glasses.
You did trash the free Packers glasses. Guy.
So they gave us these free, cheap, like Packers sunglasses on the way into the stadium.
Go.
And I think at that point in the game is when I threw them down and stomped on them. I stomped on them. No, because that was after halftime, right? Or was that before?
Right, yeah.
All right, so I'd stomped on them, I think, at the end of the first half when the Packers took the 14-7 lead. Because then I went to the bathroom to pee, and when I came back, someone stole my Packers glasses that I had stomped.
They're probably mad. They were like, this jerk, this mean guy. Well, this mean guy, because everyone there apparently sounds like Flanders. So he's just like, well, this mean guy that went to the bathroom, he just stomped on his glasses. I'm going to take them for myself.
Yeah, probably. I think it was the guy sitting to my right that had a Green Bay symbol on his cheek. Josh got a picture of this guy.
Yeah.
He kind of looked and sounded like a Jay Leno to me, but his chin wasn't as big, and he had a Green Bay thing. He had like a Green Bay thing on his cheek, like. But he was cool. Like, I got to the point where I was just like, you know, when we weren't going to win after that exchange. I mean, that was our pretty much after that. I thought we didn't have a chance to win the game because, like you said, we were you were in the red zone 5 times and couldn't score.
How do you think Green Bay played during this game? Like
I think they played down to us.
100%?
No, they played down to us. Like,
I mean, felt the same thing watching it on TV. They were playing down to us. They were doing just enough to just get a comfortable lead. Yeah,
they got a lead, and then we tied it. They went down the field quickly and got a touchdown at the end of the half. And then we fumbled at the beginning of the third quarter, and I was just like, was that Antonio Gibson? Because that was the other end for me. Like, I couldn't see.
Yeah, third fumble this year.
And then, so we fumbled it at like their 20-something? And then they got like a touchdown right away, so it was 21-7. And then I was at that point, it was just like, and then that whole thing where Heineke didn't run in and gave himself up. I don't even want to get into that dumb rule, but he gave himself up.
It's a dumb rule, but it's
a dumb rule. I'm not getting into it with you. It's dumb.
It's not new this year either. I mean, it's been like third year.
It's still a dumb rule.
It is. Anyway, it's 100%. They.
Anyway,
quarterbacks can't be touched, man.
After that rule prevented us from having a chance of winning the game.
Yeah.
I was just, the whole rest of the game, I was just like, not having it. But
yeah.
So then, you know, at the end of the game, I was sitting there. I've already told you this. So our friend Wendy, who we know from a work thing, was at the stadium, and she was like, I didn't know you guys are here, and texted Josh. And she said what section she was in. So anyway, at the end of the game, Josh was like, dude, let's go see Wendy. And I was, of course, sulking, like, no, man, I'm not going anywhere right now. I'm going to sit here and chill out for a minute before I go anywhere. So I was sitting there chilling, and like the stands are clearing out. And finally, this guy that looked like Flanders, like a what are they called?
Hey, neighbor.
The attendant.
Did he have the mustache?
He had the mustache. It was like this.
Just the mustache.
Just the mustache. And he comes over. Hey, neighbor. And his hair was like straight across. And he comes over and he's like, he goes, how's it going there, fella? And I was like, I was like, well, the game kind of sucked, but you know, I'm all right. And he was like, well, yeah, it didn't really go that well for you, did it? And I was like, no, it did not. Thank you. And he was like, well, the game's been over for about 15 minutes now. And I was like, yep. And he was like, well, I'm going to have to ask you to start heading for the exit there. And I was like, all right, I'm going. And I start to like slowly get up, you know, like kind of being a jerk by going as slow as possible. But
being a little drunk.
But anyway, so then I start getting up, and he was like, would you like me to get an officer to help you, sir? And I was like, no, dude, I'm going. Like, that was any other stadium, they would have been like, I'm going to get the cops if you don't hurry up. But this guy was like, would you like me to get an officer? So anyway, by the time I got over to where Josh's section was, I was walking like 1 inch an hour too, just through underneath the tunnels. By the time I got over there, Wendy was gone, and he was like, let's go, dude. And I was like, all right. So we start to walk out of the stadium, and this like Packers fan, like some millennial kid, like runs up and gets in my face with his phone, and he's like, go Pack, go, like filming me. I was like, dude, and like, I was, you know, like, get out of my face, kind of. I was just like, dude, and like started to turn after him, and then he starts running away, like, oh, and like I start kind of like walking after him, like, man, I'm gonna talk to that dude, and So he gets a little bit further away from me. And
I'm
like,
gonna give him a piece of my mind.
yeah, it was like that. So he gets a little further away. So then I turn around and start walking back, and then there's this cop standing there, and he looks all like FP Santangelo. FP Santangelo.
Oh yeah.
Like imagine FP Santangelo from the Nationals broadcasts, like in a cop uniform, standing there, like with the vest, like that flak vest or whatever they wear, and he's just like standing there like this. And he was like, and I kid you not, it was like the same exact, not the same exact voice, but the same inflection as the guy inside the stadium. How's it going there, fella? And I'm like, I'm doing all right. How are you doing? And he was like, because I saw you tracking that guy there. And I was like, yeah, did you see he was being a jerk? And he was like, yeah, I saw that. There's always one. What were you planning on doing if you caught up with him? And I was like, I was going to call him out. I was going to call him out on being a jerk. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he just started talking about the game. And then Josh comes over because Josh sees me talking to this cop from a distance. And he like doesn't know what's going on. And Josh is like, uh-oh, what's going on over there? And Josh walks up, and then we just like chatted with that guy about the game, and then he was like, all right, later, dude, and like fist bumped him, and then went back to our car, and that was about it. Traffic coming out of Green Bay back to Madison was kind of bad. They like had us, Waze had us going down like these farm country roads that are in like a giant grid, like think New York, Manhattan times like 1,000, like as far as big the grids are. And Waze has us going like 5 miles this way, 2 miles this way, 5 miles. Oh, there's one thing I forgot to tell you about. Another reason why I knew that our car was going to be safe. First of all, we couldn't get a rental car when we flew into Madison because apparently the rental car places there close at 4 o'clock on a Saturday, and our plane got there at 4:30.
College town. A college town.
So
4 o'clock on a Saturday. That's nuts.
So our friend Doug, who lives there in Madison, said that we could use his car, and he came and picked us up at the airport. But when he came to pick us up at the airport and give us the car, he thought it would be funny to have the windows painted with shoe polish that says like #1 Packers fans and go Pack. Except it said #1 Packer fans.
#1 Packer fans.
Yeah. And so when we parked,
I mean, that's the meat packer.
Yeah.
Well, but I guess meat packers. Yeah.
So when we parked in that neighborhood, I didn't feel like we needed to worry about our vehicle because it wasn't like Go Skins on it or anything like that.
Yeah, really.
But then we get out and like put on our Skins jerseys, and everyone's looking all confused, like, what? Like, what are those guys doing? And then when we were coming,
they're probably just like, oh, here comes some Redskins fans. They probably have had their vehicle broken into before, so they're probably just like, oh, we're #1 Chargers fans, or we're #1 Kansas City fans, or whatever,
Yeah. So then when we're what was I gonna say? I don't remember. I was gonna say something. Oh yeah. So when we're driving back,
stuff on it.
So we're driving back on one of those little like offshoots that Waze was taking us on. And there's these two girls, probably about 10, 12 years old, like at the end of their driveway, like holding up like Packers, like pom-poms and going, yay, like we won the game. And then they see our car that says like Go Packers fans, and they're like, yay. And then they look at us like through the windshield, and me and Josh are like, like thumbs down. And their faces were all confused, like what just happened?
You ruined those children's day.
But they were just confused because, like, in 1 second, they were like, "Oh, here comes some Packers fans." It says it on their window too, seeing our jerseys, and then seeing the thumbs down and the raspberry. It was funny. But anyway. Yeah, everything was fun about the game except, of course, the actual score.
Well, we can talk. Well, I guess we got to do our games that kicks from that, but we should go into the Denver game, which is happening today at what 4:05, 4:15, something like that. Who knows?
It's happening
4:25. It's at 4:25, so it's going to be ending around near the end of Thanksgiving, or near the end of Halloween.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Trick-or-treating. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Dan Snyder says Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, so
New neighbor.
How's it going there, fella? So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the game, because this morning, after I haven't watched any football since I left that stadium, and the Packers have already gone on to beat another team in the time that I've just like recovering from the trip there. They've already gone out to Arizona, beat the undefeated Cardinals, which is another reason why I think they were taking it easy against us. They were saving up for that Thursday game. And
they were missing their top 3 wide receivers from COVID, and they still beat them.
Yeah. It didn't matter who they were missing. But so anyway, real quick about this game. I've actually it's, you know how it's weird, like when you're at a game, you see more, but at the same time you see less, and you know less about what's actually happening, like, you know, who's in and out as much, unless you pick up on it. Like, I noticed that Collins wasn't playing nearly as much, and when he was like up as like a third linebacker. It looked like
basically he was playing as a linebacker, yeah. And they had talked about that some during the week, where he's like, I'm doing what I'm doing because I love the team, or whatever it was he said.
Whatever. He loves that paycheck that he got. So that I noticed that our defense. Yeah, it seemed like we were actually playing better when he was not back at safety. To me,
I think it's great when he's not back there at like free safety or playing that kind of position. Rather than, I mean, if you're up around the line, sure, that's great, because he's pretty good at that altogether. Doesn't tackle very well.
And I thought in the first half our defense played really well.
They did all right. Danny Johnson, like in the first half, Danny Johnson was out there and he was getting kind of victimized. We was getting really victimized on one drive, but he got a little bit more solid as things went on. So I was all right with that. Overall.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, Green Bay was giving it like 80% the whole time. And they're just, I mean, like you said, I think they're like, let's get through this game and then we'll have our big important game on Thursday.
Yeah, I think so too. But still, I mean, if you look at, all right, the season so far, pretty much up until the last couple of weeks, our defense has been horrible the whole game. And then it seemed against the Chiefs and against Green Bay, they were actually kind of decent in the first half of the game. And then, of course, the teams we either run out of steam or they make adjustments and figure it out.
Adjustments, and we do not.
Yeah. So if we can actually get them to play an entire game well, we might actually have a chance of winning. And the fumbles, I mean, that was another. I was at the other end from where we were sitting, but that interception that Heineke threw looked like another one of those horrible ones. It was like I could see from 100 yards away that Too Cool for School wasn't open, or it was a bad pass. Like, it was just, what are you doing? It was
very underthrown.
Yeah, he threw it behind him and below.
It looked like a proverbial lame duck pass where you see it and you're just like, oh, anybody's going to catch that. That ball is just sitting out there waiting for someone to hit it.
Yeah.
It was not a good game. Obviously, he had his like clusterbuckle stuff that happened where he dove and hit the ground before the goal line. Then he fumbled before he went on the quarterback sneak. Why we got this small quarterback doing quarterback sneaks?
I don't know, but I'd rather see a quarterback sneak there than them pitch it back 8 yards like their other choice play. It would be.
That's very, very true. That's the problem.
But I mean, it was super close, because I was right pretty much at that goal line, and the ball to me looked like it was only like 6 inches out where they put it.
Yeah, it was.
So, and I still don't understand that whole thing with there was a punt. There was a punt from the Packers, and the ball landed on the goal line and bounced back, and they gave it to him at the 3. Or us?
I was watching that. That was the only call where I was really just like, what in the heck happened? Because if you're watching it on camera, you saw the ball hit and white chalk from the goal line went up in the air when it hit and bounced back to the 3 where the guys allegedly downed it. And they said it was a touchback, and then they came back and they're like, no. And I'm like, how is that humanly possible when you see the white chalk bouncing up in the air? It's not like a cricket was down there kicking it up, being like, here's some white chalk. The ball hit the line.
And then they called it a touchback, and I'm like, yeah. And then they changed it, and then all the Packers fans around us knew that they better brace themselves. Because I was like, what? And they're just like, man. Because they knew it was a bad call, too. But, and then I didn't really see this. I guess it was at the other end. But what was up with the play that I heard on Ricky Seals-Jones that was pass interference that didn't get called? Was it? No?
Again, the only call that I had a problem with was when the ball hit the goal line when the guy punted it. And then they called it a touchback, and then they said, no, it's down at the 3, when it obviously hit the goal line. When you watched on film, it hit the goal line.
Oh, I saw it.
That's the only thing. Everything else was... Honestly, everything else was people like complaining because we're Redskins fans or Washington football fans, and we just complain about everything because our team sucks.
So bad. Yeah.
So incredibly bad.
It's so bad. It's so bad that we need some calls to go our way to even have a chance, where other teams are just good enough to win regardless.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was fun. Hopefully someday you'll get to go to Lambeau, hopefully when our team is better.
Lambeau, probably after
because it was fun.
Probably after Aaron Rodgers retires.
He probably won't be there next. It was interesting talking to those guys back about the Heineke thing, where they were like, "Hey, you guys should, take some time and see if he develops," because they've done that with both Favre and Rodgers.
Yeah, and they're looking at Love the same way. They're letting him hang out for a couple years. That's how teams used to do it. Nowadays, everyone's just like, we got a rookie, put him right in.
Yeah.
Here we go. Although, I mean, I always go back to Troy Aikman, and he was awful as a first-year quarterback, and he went right in. And Peyton Manning, same thing. He went right in. He was awful his first year, and they got better. Those guys, obviously, those two are Hall of Famers. So
yeah. So I mean, it's like today.
Given time, but
there's too much pressure to win
rules
now on these little guys, on these new guys coming out with no experience.
Yeah.
You know?
And then you see like the Packers, or I don't know. You see the teams that have patience. Like the Packers have patience. The Steelers have patience. Even New England to a point has patience. You know.
Yeah, they just discard receivers like they're like paper plates.
Yeah, and it's the same thing.
And then
with
they come to us.
Like,
and then
he
they
doesn't
come to
really
us.
need. As long as you've got a superstar quarterback, you don't necessarily need like high-end receivers all the time. It's good to have them, but if you basically it comes down to it's not that everyone doesn't know this already, but if you don't have a quarterback, you just don't have a good enough team. You have to have a quarterback.
Yeah,
and we've known that for so incredibly long.
Yep.
Yeah. What a mess. But we're not going to go into all that at this point.
Dude,
once again, what else did you see in the game that you thought was interesting?
I don't know.
I can't think of it.
I mean, it seemed
else.
like, the one other thing I was going to say is it seemed like, as opposed to prior weeks, that Heineke was back to being more like himself, getting out of things and Houdiniing and running around more. And I didn't realize until I saw these stats, he had 95 yards.
Yeah.
And I was like, he needed 96. But anyway.
He needed 95 and a half.
So, I mean, the fumbles and the
96,
turnovers, killed us. But,
yeah. And here we go again today. Mile High Stadium against Denver.
Do we know?
Oh,
we need to get our
have
games
news
and
from
kicks,
today.
right?
Oh yeah.
Before we move into today's
for today, I have breaking news for today. Actually.
All right. Well, let's do the games and kicks first. So.
And now, the coveted and ever elusive Game Ball Award.
Game Ball Award. You want to do it? I'll do it.
I'll do it.
All right, you do it.
A game ball goes to Scary Terry, even though he had that one drop that everyone saw that hit him like in the helmet in the end zone. It was very unlike him. But other than that, he went 7 for 122, got a touchdown. He had a great game, except for that drop. It's like everyone was having really good stuff, and then they did like really stupid stuff, like Taylor Heineke doing all he did at the end zone, where you were just like, question marks abound. And then I don't know, Gibson fumbled again. He's literally really good, but it's his third fumble. Terry McLaurin let that ball bounce off his helmet. What do you do?
Yeah. He's solid, but the last few weeks, Harry has been dropping a few more. Like, he might have the hands-infected virus. But I mean, he caught 7 in that game. And that's more than anybody else on either team. So yeah,
it was just bad luck on that one, I guess. I mean, it's really hard to pick a player that you really want. You know what?
What?
Nope, never mind. I'm staying with him for this one, even though he had that one drop. I'm staying with him.
Okay. I see that Firefly is asking how to listen and view the podcast on Discord. You basically join the live podcast room and make sure your mic's muted. Otherwise, you're gonna be on the podcast. Mute that mic. Actually, I've got it muted on this end, but sometimes I forget. And people could be on there and be like just talking, and they'd be on the show. But anyway, if we ever call for people to actually be on the show, that's how you get on there. You go into the live podcast room, and then we'll unmute the mic, and then we can bring you on. Anyway,
and if you're looking for us on Discord, it's discord.gg/5YW5YFT.
Yeah. All right, so I got to give a game ball. I'm trying to figure out who I would give mine to.
It's a really hard one because
I guess
team's just not very good.
I guess maybe I don't know, Ricky Seals-Jones, because I think he's stepping in pretty well for what's his face, Logan Thomas, that's injured.
Logan Thomas, yeah. After
I said that he should be cut, right? And
Jonathan Allen had 2 sacks. I was thinking about going with him, but
I thought about it too. I thought about that too. But yeah, so I'm gonna go with Ricky Seals-Jones, and let's see, Shanny, Firefly are both in the peanut gallery here. We'll see who they're gonna go with. It looks like Shanny is giving his to Cameron Cheeseman. Okay.
Excuse me.
And Firefly, Ricky Seals-Jones. Okay. And I think David Herzing is in there. He's giving his to Chase Royer. The dude is the most underappreciated player on the team. Yeah, he has been solid. For how many years now? Is this like his 3rd year?
I think it's his 3rd year.
I liked him when we picked him up. I was excited about him.
Really from Wisconsin.
So anyway, yeah.
Wyoming. Sorry, you were in Wisconsin. From Wyoming. I don't know why I said Wisconsin.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so all right, so there's our game balls for the game. Which brings us to the ones that are much easier.
Yeah.
To pick a plethora of people from.
It's time for this week's Kicking the Balls Award.
Kicking the Balls Award is brought to you by Ridapoo, as always. I'm gonna have to go with Heineke. What were you thinking, dude?
Too.
There was no one near you. No one near you. There was not a guy within 4 steps of him when he gave himself up at the 0.5 yard line.
He did not know the rule, which is kind of surprising because he's like a smart math kind of guy. But he did not know that rule.
I think he said he just dove early. I think it was like someone was saying
early. He did dove early. He did dive early.
He did.
I think everyone could see that. He did dove.
I wonder if it's one of those situations, like you see it happen in college a lot. There'll be a guy that's so wide open that he gets so excited he drops the ball. You know what I mean? Like he's not used to seeing an end zone like that so open to him to run into that he like freaked out and dove early.
Whoa!
And it was, dude, it's just like, it sums up our team.
He was trying not to get hurt. I think basically he was trying not to get hurt, so he was diving, and he didn't think that that's giving yourself up.
I was beside myself, and he gets the kick for that. Seriously, dude. And then fumbling. I didn't even realize on that next play that he fumbled it and picked it back up.
Yeah, he did.
Anyway, so mine's going to Heineke. Yours is going to Heineke?
Oh, yeah. This is an awful game.
He did run, though. He did run, though.
He's getting millions of dollars, and he didn't know the rules.
Yeah.
But there are way too many rules in football. It's just, there's too many rules.
Yeah, his throws were bad, too, Firefly is pointing out. Like, he's scared. Like, he started to throw picks now, but his throws, like, I often hold my breath on those. Because they usually float. They usually float.
They look like lame ducks. They look like lame ducks that are like, and you're just, you see like 7 guys that are going to have a chance to try to pick it.
Yeah.
He's a gunslinger. That's what he's going to do.
Okay, other kicks in the peanut gallery. Shanny's giving his to Chris Blewett for blowing it in his first game. He was one of 2.
Yeah, he had that very low kick.
It got blocked, right?
Kick.
Didn't we block one of their kicks too?
Same thing. Their guy kicked it low.
Yeah. That was at the other end of the field, the other kicker. So I didn't quite see what happened. I just knew that they didn't make it. Anyway, all right. So yeah, ours goes to Heineke. You could also give one to Gibson.
Oh yeah.
He fumbled again.
Give one to Dandy Johnson for getting victimized like 5 times on that one drive, including the touchdown.
Dude, do we still have DeShazer Everett?
We do. He's on special teams.
Why isn't he playing safety? He's way better than...
That's a good question. That's a really good question, isn't it?
He hits hard. He needs to come in and play safety. Rough some people up. He better today.
Yeah. We'll see. All right, let's go into our notes for the game going forward. Cornelius Lucas is out.
Does that mean my dog's starting? Sadiq?
Which Sadiq is starting.
He gets a shot. He's going to destroy it, dude. I love me some Sadiq.
Heath Ishmael is on the roster. I know he's been our
5th round
activated.
Pick from a few years ago. Or was he 7th? I want to say he was 5th round.
I don't know.
Anyway, so we have a makeshift offensive line today is what you're getting at. And what about Von Miller? I heard he might not play, but have you seen anything?
He might not play.
If he plays, he's like by far their best player.
I guess. Don't forget he cheated once, though.
Look at Shanny, dude. Talking about Everett. He hits too hard for the new NFL. Yeah. Dude, his hands aren't so great at grabbing the flag if as you need in today's NFL flag football.
Yeah, really.
Dude, remember playing flag football where people would like wrap it around their belt and stuff like that so you couldn't pull it off?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like people would get so many yards in flag football just from like trying to turn their hips while you're like grabbing onto them and like trying to rip the dumb flag off. So it's much easier just to tackle them than rip the flag off. Anyway. Dude, Sean Taylor would have been banned for life for that kick he put on that punter in the Pro Bowl. That was...
For hitting that guy?
Oh, dude, that guy... got crushed. I'll never forget that.
It was like when Pete Rose ran into that catcher
Yeah.
at the All-Star game of all things and like ruined the catcher's career.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, let's talk some more about this game today, which I haven't even thought about until really today.
Right now.
In fact, until like 3 days ago, until like Wednesday, I thought our bye was this week.
But you were wrong.
I was wrong, as usual. Anyway, this is a must-win game, dudes. What are we? 2-5?
Yes.
If we go down to 2-6,
We are two plays from being 0-7. 2 plays from being 0-7. Just remember that.
the missed kick that we got their do-over on.
That we got
against
the
the
do-over
Giants.
on. Right.
And
Falcons.
Dude, we suck. We suck
Yeah.
from top to bottom. Well, not from top to bottom, but most every aspect of the team is bad.
That being said, we can win today. We can win this game.
Can we? Can we?
We can. You know why? Because
Can we
Denver
there?
kind of sucks as well.
All right. What's the key? What's the path to victory, John? Because I don't know anything about the Broncos except that we beat them in Super Bowl 22.
Except for that. Other than that,
Handily. After
their
spotting
defense
them
is kind of suspect. Their quarterback kind of sucks. They have Bridgewater, right?
I don't even know, dude. I guess Bridgewater. I know they have Von Miller, and he's good. And you say he cheated.
He cheated. He got busted for PEDs.
Okay,
A number of years
he's
ago.
a cheater,
Look it up.
but he's good. A good cheater.
But he's good. He was good. I don't know.
He's not good
I
anymore.
guess he's still pretty good.
What about us going into Denver and like the whole breathing situation, especially since we don't even have a trainer because he got arrested by the FBI for who knows what.
I don't know if he got arrested or not.
Okay.
But Terry McLaurin was concerned about that actually because I don't know if he has like asthma or something like that, but he was a little bit worried about it. But everyone said it's usually fine. The problem is we're going to go up there for like 2 or 3 days. It's like we rush in the day before, I guess yesterday, and then fly out after the game today. So you don't really have the chance. Because, I mean, it is a mile high. It is going to be different for people.
So they don't even go up there in time to like acclimate?
Acclimate. No, because of COVID.
And run around outside up there and get used to the air being thin. They don't do that at all. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe we can win. I'm to the point now where it's like, I don't know. I mean, maybe if the defense can actually play a full game and the offense just stops fumbling and giving the ball away.
Yeah.
It's like
mistakes like that.
It's like when one side of the ball is actually playing good for once, the other side that usually is playing well sucks, or vice versa. It's like they can't both play it well at once at the same game. I don't know. Dublin Andrew is on here. What's up, Dublin Andrew?
Sup?
This will be Denver's get right game, as it is for every team that plays Washington. He has a point there, because it's just like, I heard this, and anytime you hear a stat like this against us, you know that something's about to come true. I heard Denver has lost like 5 games in a row or something like that. Can they get rid of their losing streak? Anytime there's a streak that needs to be broken, it's broken against us.
That's what bad teams do, man. Anyway,
he meant Denver. He said Sinver. I thought that was some kind of play on words or something.
I think that was just his fourth finger slipping from the D to the E. Or his third, his pointer finger, the middle finger. It's the D to the C because they're right next to each other.
It slipped.
On your QWERTY keyboard.
His middle finger accidentally went from the D down to the C. Unless he's on his phone, and then it may have been his thumb or something.
That's true. It may have been like right on the phone.
We can investigate
I'm saying
this if you want.
We can if we would like.
Regardless, do I need to give my precarious prediction today?
Yeah, let's hear it.
My precarious prediction today against a team I know nothing about versus our team who sucks. I'm going to have to go ahead and say that this game is going to be 17-14 Washington. Chris Blewett winning it on a late game field goal with like a minute and 20 seconds left, and then the defense actually comes up big and doesn't let them march down and score. 17-14 Washington.
Yeah, let's go. Washington football team.
I hope you're pumped. Woo. Do we have anything else we want to add to this episode before we go?
I'm as pumped as I have been for just about every game this season.
Yeah, oh, by the way, anyone going with us to that Buccaneers game, you can probably get tickets cheap. I don't know. But although, what's-his-face said you can't. Sean the Sixth, said they're still expensive.
I guess it's because we're playing the defending Super Bowl champions. We're playing the GOAT, the best of all time.
I know, and we were kind of hoping for like a rematch of the playoffs last year, and
I have a feeling that Tom Brady and company are going to looking to drop 50 on us.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
definitely interesting.
Anyway, we will be there. I got my triple vax, by the way. The other day. Friday.
You got your booster shot.
My booster. So
I got my
I'm
booster
ready to go.
And my cold or my flu shot, one in each arm.
At the same time?
Same time, yeah. It was like bam, bam. I had like matching red Walgreens Band-Aids on each shoulder.
You looked all like battle ready.
I would if I took my shirt off.
Anyway,
where'd you get all the scars from?
Let me take this. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I know what you're talking about now. I was like, if you pulled up your sleeve, what?
Oh. Yeah, there's a few scars under here.
Just a few little wuss scars you got there. Anyway, I'd like to give a shout out to everyone in the Peanut Gallery. Shanny, Dublin Andrew, David Herzing, Firefly. Did I miss anybody this morning? It's all the England people come in when we do these morning podcasts. And, sorry.
Yeah.
England and Ireland and where else? Scotland.
Any land will do.
Any land that's on that side of the Atlantic. Give us, join the community, discord.gg/5YW. 5YFT is the invite code. And you can chat with people 24/7. Come live on the podcast, in the live podcast room. If we ever actually bring people on. We'll do that after this game. Give us a call on the hog line. Leave us a message there. 202-735-1788. That hog line is manned 07
by
a day.
electronics.
07 a day. It's manned by electronics 24/7 a day. Anything else? At Harry Hog on Twitter. I think that's about it.
Check out the game tonight. Denver 4:25. I guess it's on CBS.
It could be spooky. Woo.
It might be a spooky day.
Woo. Anyway, hail to the Redskins, and if you see a Cowboys fan,
Joke 'em.
Joke 'em.